Hello, hello. How is everybody? Good, I hope. I wanted to jump on here for a few minutes because I have a really busy evening, so I don't know what I'm going to get to as far as like content, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi. How's everybody's Friday going? So far, so good? Hi, Dawn. Hey, Collins. Hi, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. Okay, so do we have any tattoo fans in our little group here? Any Ink Master fans by any chance? So tonight, I get to go and do something really fun and really awesome. Are you ready? So those of you that are not tattoo fans or do not watch Ink Master, you're gonna have no idea who I'm talking about, but some of you may. I am getting to do something really cool with the photo studio. Mark Longnecker, who is an amazing tattoo artist, very well known in Florida, but also just in the tattoo scene, period. His brand new shop is getting ready to open. So today is their grand opening. So Jenny and I are going down to Mark Longnecker's tattoo studio tonight to photograph their grand opening. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be really cool. Oh yeah, it's a good cup of coffee. You know how sometimes it's just freaking perfect? It's perfect. So to tell you a little bit about how I know Mark Longnecker, I actually know him from growing up in South Florida. He used to work at a shop in Fort Lauderdale. So before I was even old enough to get tattoos, I knew who he was, and he was one of the first people that I really admired in the tattoo industry. One of the reasons that I love him as an adult is not only is he just like one of the nicest guys ever, but he does a lot of work with the Surfers for Autism campaigns and all of those different fundraisers. So anyone that has a hand in helping raise awareness for autism, especially people that are, I don't want to say famous, but that have, you know, the ability to reach a large audience that are doing things for autism, it just makes me really happy. So I haven't seen him in years, and I can't wait to see him and just kind of give him a high five and a hug and tell him thank you for doing so much for awareness for autism. So I'm excited. I had a consult this morning, so I'm basically just home for a couple hours and I'm getting some cooking done. Nothing crazy. I'm doing, this is so stupid. Dan and I really struggle to eat keto when we do not have food prepared, and sometimes it's hard to like make yourself cook. So I'm trying to cook up some of the odds and ends and leftover meat that we have, so we have like some snacky food. So right now I have, what am I doing? I'm making like some buffalo chicken dip, and then I'm gonna make another big batch of the egg roll in a bowl, so that way he has stuff to eat while I am gone tonight. I don't even know how many tattoos I have. I think I have around 16, but like 4 of them are very large and take up a large percentage of my body. Hey, Jennifer. Welcome to the live show. Oh my God, my coffee is so good. Yeah, Connie, you can definitely do it. Oh, let's go get my chicken. You guys are coming with me. You can do the chili without the red pepper. I have done it that way before, and it's fine. The red pepper just adds a little bit of sweetness to the chili that you're not gonna have without it. So I'm gonna stick you guys in my spice cabinet here for a second. I know this is so weird and my kitchen is dirty, but like you guys are my family, so you just can't judge me. That's where we're at. Ooh, dill chicken salad, that sounds so good. You know what I really miss that I haven't found a way to keto yet? So I love chicken salad. Chicken salad's one of my favorite foods on the planet. And the way that I used to make it, I used to put craisins in it, those little dried cranberries. And I miss that so much. I would do like apples and dried cranberries. I wish there was like a substitute for cranberries, but they're loaded with sugar, so I can't have them. Avocado chicken salad, that sounds good. See, and when I used to make that, I would add corn to it. So there are some of my favorite foods that most recently I've been kind of missing, and I don't know, I've got to come up with like some new ideas and new ways to do things, because there are some of those foods that I'm really, really missing. Yes, this cup of coffee that I'm drinking right now, it has a little bit of half and half, and it has a splash of the coconut skinny syrups in it. It is my most favorite cup of coffee. Any hairdressers in here? I've got so many flyaways. I wear my hair up so much that it's like all broken around here. It drives me nuts. The Mississippi chicken is to die for. We have not made it with the beef since we made it with the chicken. I know, Catherine, they do though. What I'm wondering, I don't have a food dehydrator, but I'm super curious that if I did, would it be lower carb for me to throw some cranberries into the food dehydrator? Oh, so loud. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to do and talk to you at the same time. So if it's distracting or annoying, I'm super sorry. Yeah, even like really all of the cranberries that I've found have sugar in them, even the ones that are supposed to be all natural, no sugar added, blah, blah, blah. So I'm kind of like stuck there, but I'm dying for cranberry salad or cranberry chicken salad. It just sounds so, so good to me. Yeah, skinny syrups are life-changing. Before I started keto, my regular coffee, I used all of those like flavored coffee mate creamers and International Delights and all of those. And you guys know, I drink coffee all day long. So the amount of sugar that I was consuming just based on my beverages is like mind-boggling to me now. I basically was drinking like 3 days worth of my carbs with just coffee. I'm gonna shred this chicken here. Yeah, so I love the skinny syrups. I think a lot of people that are, you know, hesitant to start keto, sweetened coffee is one of the hardest things to fix. But I think the skinny syrups are just to die for. Melissa, have the best day. I won't be on here too terribly long because I've got a lot to prepare for today. But I just wanted to jump on and say hi because I didn't know if I was going to get to upload anything today. I hate taking multiple days off from you guys, but life is crazy. Hi, Melanie. Yeah, we, you know, I like to think that we are pretty dang creative when it comes to, you know, recipe creations. And the main reason for that is because we crave certain foods. We just do. We have a tendency to really want, you know, foods that we used to eat, whether it's tacos or lasagna, and like we just have to, you know, find a way to make these things satisfying and make them keto. And I think we do a pretty bang up job with it. We look at it as like a challenge, you know, like, oh, I'm craving this. How can I make it keto? And that's basically how we come up with all of our recipes, is it starts with like, what are we craving? And then we just find a way to make it. You guys have anything good cooking for dinner tonight? Ooh, butter chicken, that sounds so good. Yeah, honestly, I just miss craisins. I wish I could eat them. I miss them so much. Those of you that have Publix has a chicken salad that has cranberries and celery and all these amazing things in it. And when I do have like a cheat day, that's what I miss. I actually do meatloaf a lot. That sounds really good too. That's one of Dan's favorite things. my old meatloaf recipe that I made pre-keto had a lot of sugar in it because it had regular ketchup, it had barbecue sauce, it had a lot of carrots, it had all kinds of odds and ends in it. So I basically do it the same way now, but I use a sugar-free barbecue sauce. I love the Alterna Sweets one. I will also do the GH Hughes if I do not have Alterna Sweets. I'm just shredding chicken right now, so just, you know, bear with me. Cheesesteak casserole, that sounds super good. Yeah, my stomach kind of hurts today. I haven't eaten anything yet because I'm just kind of, whenever my stomach hurts or my stomach's upset, I find that fasting, well, not really fasting because I'm having coffee sweetened, but not putting a lot of hard to digest food in my body does so much better. See, that would work though. If the cranberries are not as sweet, that's fine, because really, couldn't I just put a little bit of sweetener in it? A little bit of erythritol, a little bit of Swerve, Splenda, just to give it that little bit of sweetness. I don't see why not. Have a great day, Collins. Yeah, there are some things that I miss that there are just no substitute for. Like bananas. I miss bananas. Sometimes I think that you guys think that I do this keto stuff perfect every day and that I don't ever slip up or that I don't miss bad foods, and that's just not true. I don't talk about it a lot because if you are brand new to keto and brand new to your journey, I don't want to trigger you by, you know, making it sound like it's unattainable. But I definitely have weak moments just like everybody else does. Hey, Kristen. Ha, nice. I just, you know, I think that people have a tendency to look at a lot of people on YouTube and think that they are somehow invincible to the struggle that you're struggling, and that's just not the case. I just don't always talk about it as much because if I'm having a bad day or a cheat day or I derail, like, that doesn't do anything for you and your success, you know? So it doesn't mean that I eat this way perfectly all the time. The reason that I eat this way, yes, weight loss has been a bonus. Keeping weight off, also a bonus. This is actually, it's about a full year now that I've been at this weight, and I'm really proud of myself and really happy about it. But that doesn't mean that I don't have weak moments just like everybody else. My favorite thing to buy at Aldi, that's a loaded question. I love Aldi. I'm gonna say meat because it's cheap and your girl loves a bargain. Like, I am so cheap when it comes to grocery shopping. I want to get a lot for my money. Yeah, I'm gonna toot toot. I really do make the best chili ever. It's pretty damn good. It's funny too, because I see people like making it without the chorizo and adding things like bacon, and I think that's awesome. Is it annoying to you guys that I'm doing while I talk to you? Sorry if it is. I was trying to think of a way that I could like be productive, but also, you know, get some stuff done. Aldi has heart-shaped cheese. How cute is that? Ugh. Why are they so cute? I always miss like the cool stuff. Like they did like the cheese advent calendar for Christmas and I didn't get one. I wanted it really bad and I didn't get it. Aww. Pork chips with the onions on top. Oh, yeah. We did those in the air fryer, I think. Are those the bacon wrapped ones that we did? They were so good. Oh my God, you guys, if you find heart-shaped cheese, can you please, for the love of God, like take a picture and show me? Yes, I do, Delana. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I weigh every single day. I only write down my weight once a week, but I weigh every single day. Dan's fried pickles. The first ones that we made, I think that we did the pickle chips, but we ended up liking the spears better. Hey Lou, hi Rita. Yeah, we ended up liking the spears better. They were easy. They were so much easier than the little chips. They took a lot less time and a lot less ingredients. So we've been kind of sticking to the pickle spears. I'm making buffalo chicken dip right now. I say buffalo chicken dip. I don't have absolutely everything that I need to make it. So buffalo chicken dip is so forgiving and so easy. You really could do just about anything. Anything with chicken and hot sauce and cheese is gonna be freaking delicious. So that's what I'm doing. I need to go grab my coffee. I didn't bring it in the kitchen with me. Aw, thanks, Tracy. I am a way everyday person. In the morning, the second I wake up, I pee and then I weigh myself every single day. Oh my God, I love jalapeno poppers. They're a little labor intensive though, and I'm feeling kind of lazy right now. Yeah, Jamie, we've done them before. We like the bacon wrapped pickles. The only thing that stinks about the air fryer is like, there's not a lot of space in there. So I feel like, yeah, okay, it fries things like quickly, but it's kind of a lot of work because we have to keep going in and out. You know what I mean? Like we'll throw 5 in, then we wait, then, you know, you throw more in. Like that part of it is annoying to me, but it's definitely grown on me. Let's see what else I need here. You guys see my overflowing trash can? I am like an absolute heathen right now. I know, Jamie, like if they had a giant one, like a big one, I would so buy that. Someone said the Power Air Fryer Oven, I think it's called, that one is really large. Boop. My dogs are circling like freaking sharks because they want this chicken. I know there's a lot of you that are like in the bitter, bitter cold. It's like warm in Florida today. I'm sorry to say. Sorry. Like I didn't need a jacket today. Crazy, right? Let's go get my coffee and then we'll get this chicken dip rolling. 22 and snowing. Holy crap. God, how do you guys do it? I made a joke the other day and offended somebody because I was like, why do you live there? Like on purpose. I just can't imagine. I really can't. Megan, that's what I always tell people. That's like the general consensus with the bacon wrapped onion rings is like they are a huge pain in the butt, but my gosh, are they worth it. Oh, Canada, I bet it's not playing over there. Yeah, one of our closest friends is in... I'm gonna butcher the name. They are near Chicago. I think it's called like Schwamberg or something like that. And she hasn't left her house, basically. I should buy blocks of cream cheese by the pallet. I go through so much cream cheese. It is like the craziest thing ever. You should see me, like how they look at me at Aldi. They probably think that I'm just eating it like by itself for how much I buy. I can't help it. Oh, I like Texas. I've been to a lot of places in Texas, actually. I've spent some time in Houston. My brother lives in Austin. Yeah, Phoenix. Phoenix sounds awesome. Doesn't it? It snows there too, though, doesn't it? I know it snows in some parts of Arizona. Arizona is actually the first place that I drove in the snow. Flagstaff, I think. Schwamberg. I was kind of close, I think. Yeah, my friend Cassie and her husband Mark live there. Would you believe that I haven't made the cheesecake fluff and I want to like punch myself? Okay, yeah, but like Flagstaff, free to flame. Is that where Flagstaff is? I look like such an idiot right now. Is Flagstaff northern Arizona? I know that it snows there. A pound a week is great. Don't hate on a pound a week weight loss. Go to the grocery store and like take a pound of ground beef and tuck it under your armpit and feel excited because a pound is a pound. I'll take it. Now this is going to be fun. I have to remember what goes in my buffalo chicken dip because I'm talking to you guys instead. I didn't didn't think that all the way through. Yeah, my brother is in hospitality. He works for like kind of like a microsystem that's in hotels where he does like installs. Yeah, where's my ranch? I do my buffalo chicken dip a little bit different every time I do it, so we're just gonna squirt some shit in the pan and hope for the best. Sorry about the cussing. Oh, you know what I did do though, finally? You guys are gonna be like, Amanda, you're such an idiot. I cut my knuckle off the other day, shredding cheese with my like hand grater. Like I really did. I cut off in a massive chunk off of my knuckle. And so many of you were horrified that I haven't been using a food processor to shred my cheese. Well, I did that today, and I have decided that it's probably worth the dishes because I shredded so much cheese in like 2 seconds. I can't even believe it. Yes, Robert, it was so bad. You know how I'm not trying to be a baby because I'm a tough girl. Like I can handle getting injured. But anytime it's like fingers or hands or something that you know that you're going to be using constantly, it's so debilitating. I was like wrapped up in Band-Aids and the whole shebang. Yeah, Melinda, I do mine a little different. So I'm just going to give it a go and try to remember, and I'll probably taste it as I go. So this will be like an unintentional mukbang. Yeah, so my knuckle, it's better. It's better now. Oh my God, Kathy, it hurts so bad. I was like crying, and I am not a baby. Like I really am a super, super, super tough broad, but it hurt for days. This is the first day that I've been able to function without a Band-Aid. You too, Sandra, we love you. It really messed me up. My buffalo chicken dip, there's a recipe on Instagram, and that's the way that I usually make it, but I have a little bit less chicken than I normally would, so I'm gonna kind of eyeball some of it, but it definitely starts with a block of cream cheese, as everything should. Yeah, so I really, really hurt my finger. I was all wrapped up in like Rapunzel Band-Aids. Lincoln was petrified because I was bleeding. It was an absolute SHIT show, but it feels better today. I was not willing to chance hurting myself again because I have a shoot later. This is actually, when I made the Mississippi chicken the other day, the packs of chicken that come from Aldi and also Walmart, they have like mutant chicken breasts. They are like this big. So I had one left over, and this one chicken breast made easily 3 cups of chicken. It's insane. JMO, I also have a cream cheese tooth. I will take a little piece of cream cheese and just sprinkle everything but the bagel seasoning on it and eat it just like that. I'm disgusting, but it's so good. So good. I feel so weird and awkward doing while I am living, but I love you guys. Christy, have the best day. But it's just what needs to happen in order for me to be here with you guys. Yeah, me too, Leslie. We joke about that all the time. I'm like, what in the heck kind of chicken did this come from? Oh, I love cream cheese. I just love it. Oh, get a grip, Mahone. Go clean your house. Yeah, my mom did that when I was a little kid on Christmas Day, Rachel, and I'll never forget it. It was traumatizing. It really was. Is that better that you can't see my garbage? You still can. I don't think I care. The garbage ran this morning, and Dan like forgot to bring out the one that was in the kitchen. And we can't leave it outside because we have raccoons and all kinds of weird critters. So we have to be really careful about where we put it. So that's why it's still in the house. Yeah, sliced cream cheese with everything but the bagel seasoning is freaking amazing. I know. I'm disgusting, right? I'm a disgusting pig. Bye, Michelle. Have the best day. People are so weird on social media. Like, if I didn't have a really thick skin, I would get my feelings hurt a lot. Like, a whole lot. I try really hard not to let it get to me. Every once in a while, people will say things that are just like a trigger for me, but I'll tell you what, a dirty house ain't one of them. Oh well, we live here. Welcome. My ranch is going... I know, and I bet the people that say that, like, are living in a dirty, disgusting house. And they just feel, like, self-conscious about it. Do you guys want to talk about the Marie Kondo, whatever it is, on Netflix? Every single person I know right now is, like, trying to declutter their life and declutter their house. Literally, Robert, they are probably judging me from, like, a bus stop somewhere. Hi, Tammy. The whole Marie Kondo thing, right? Like, okay, hold this if it brings you joy. Like, everything brings me joy. Everything. I am one of those people that is so sentimentally attached to everything. I remember everything's story. I remember how it got here in the first place. Like, I am such a weirdo about things that I am attached to. For many, many, many years, I was like a gypsy. I moved all over. I traveled all over. I didn't get to keep much. I was constantly getting rid of things, throwing things away, what have you. So now, it's the first time in my whole life that I am in like a real home, that I have I'm attached to everything. So when people are like, does this bring you joy? I'm gonna give you an example. It's broken, but it was like the first Mario thing that Lincoln really gravitated towards, and I can't get rid of it. I can't help it. I am attached to absolutely everything. We love Mario. My kids love Mario and Luigi. So basically, if it's like Mario or anything like that, like I just can't. I can't. I don't know. I'm such a weirdo. And you know what? Some people are like that, JMO. I think like some people are not attached to things, and there was definitely a time in my life where I wasn't. But because this is the longest time that I've ever been in the same home and haven't had to throw everything away or haven't had to get rid of everything, I just really, I don't know. Dan is like this too. I don't want to say we're hoarders, but damn. We're a little weird, I guess. Have a great day. Yeah, I don't know. Does this bring you joy? And like, it might on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, it might not. I am very, very, very sentimental. Hey, stop it. Like, I keep cards. I don't know. I'm too much, probably. Yeah, Beth, chorizo... Depending on which grocery store you go to, sometimes it is in the aisle that has all of the ethnic food, like Mexican food and tacos and that sort of thing. Sometimes it's with the pepperoni and other dried meats, and sometimes they put it in the weirdest places ever. But I would definitely check in the pepperoni area or in the taco aisle. That's where you'll find it. Oh, you know what else? Look what we found at Walmart. Like fresh chorizo. So it's like ground meat. So it's not dried. We usually use the dried chorizo in the chili. But we saw this at Walmart and it was so cheap. It was like $1.50 per roll. Had to have it. Had to have it. Just had to. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it yet, but I am really, really happy about it. I am making some buffalo chicken dip, but I'm basically just doing it while I talk to you guys. It's really easy. The recipe is on my Instagram. I haven't posted it on Instagram in a while. I probably should. You can't find the chorizo at your Aldi, Gwen? That barn picture came from a Dollar General, my friend. Oh, it smells so good. It's not that they're not true chorizo. We've just always used the dried. So it's like kind of cooked already. Yeah, I guess it depends on your grocery store. I've seen it with the pepperoni. I've seen it in the cold case too, with like regular meat. I know, Rachel, they're expensive, but they're really the only sugar-free pickle. I'm not spatulating Darren. I should be, though. It's just a wooden spoon. He doesn't get a song. I'm, like, splattering. I love chorizo. I know there's a lot of people that don't eat pork or don't eat any kinds of sausage, but I grew up in South Florida, and down there, everything is spicy in one way or another, and I just absolutely... Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out, Melody. I don't go to Target very often. I love pickles. Yeah, honestly, there are people that are like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like the chorizo. I'm gonna leave it out. I'm like, you're gonna be sad. It makes the biggest difference ever. It really does. Darren, I think you're right. I probably need the spatulator. This cream cheese is like not having it. Dan was all concerned. That's what she said. I would love that, Melody. Send it to my Instagram. Yeah, see, Darcy, I like it like that, where it's like dried and it almost has like a jerky kind of texture. I love that. So delicious. So, so, so delicious. Yeah, it's not for everybody. I mean, just like anything else. It's an acquired taste, but I think that like smokiness that it adds and that little bit of spice, I'm just a huge fan. But if you guys have been here with me for a while, you know I love spice. Like we really, really, really get into spicy around here. I love it with eggs. Oh, this is a little spicy. Dan's gonna be mad. Let's add more ranch. He was all concerned that I was going to be gone late tonight. So he was like, is there anything to eat? He basically starves to death if I don't cook something. He's such a baby. Well, he's my baby, so you know. Oh, spatulator! Spatulate! You guys always get the best version of it too, because like, I even sing it when I'm not recording. Spoiler alert. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. You know what I'm thinking I might do? Let's get crazy here. I'm thinking I might add some... I shredded up 2 different kinds of cheese, and my original intention was just to use one kind, but now I think I'm gonna use both. It's gonna be super good. Yeah, I'm telling you, Melody, like Dan would starve to death if I didn't cook. Or he would eat terrible foods. And I get it, like Dan likes to cook, but he doesn't love to cook. I love to cook, so, you know, it doesn't bother me to have stuff made for him, especially when I know that he's gonna be solo here with the kids later. I want him to be able to have something to munch on. I love salmon. I used to not like it. It used to be one of the only fish that I didn't like, but now I love it. Yeah, Christy. So he, today, He knew that I was gonna be gone. So he's like nicely asking, oh, what is there in the fridge? You live here too, you know exactly what's in the fridge. Congratulations, Drema, it's gonna change your cooking game. Spatulator is the best. I have in our Facebook group, the Keto Ginger Kitchen Facebook group, someone left their burner on and their spatulator met a untimely death. It was very sad to see a melted spatulator. I know, Chrissy, they would just eat garbage, obviously, like raccoons. My kids sing spatulator too. I just haven't been able to catch them doing it. It's so funny. That red spatulator went to be with Jesus. I am making buffalo chicken dip, so I'm basically multitasking while I talk to you guys. Oh, the food processor cheese. Like, where have you been all my life? My God. This is awesome. Yeah, I think one of the things that is most difficult about keto is the convenience foods. The fact that you can't just run to like the frozen food section and stock your freezer with stuff that you can eat, like that makes it harder. I know that they're like, you know, like Atkins meals and low carb this and that and the other thing, but that processed food, it's really not healthy. Like I was crushed when we ran out of our Flex Pro meals because having those for the week that we had them really made grab and go food so much easier. I hope that mainstream hops on that and they start coming out with better quality frozen, ready to eat or ready to cook or ready to throw in the microwave type food, because I think that that is a much neglected area in the keto universe. Because like obviously if you're doing keto or you're doing Whole30 or you're doing paleo, you're trying to omit a lot of, you know, chemicals from your diet. Like that's part of the point. So it's really difficult to do that for mass consumption. So I don't know how that will happen. Maybe one day you'll be able to buy my chili in the frozen food section. Wouldn't that be cool? Or in a can. I'm gonna put that out into the universe. One day, keto ginger chili at your grocery store. You never know. Okay, this looks so good. I want to just eat spoonfuls of it right now. And I really can because it's cooked. It still has to go in the oven and bake with cheese on top. But the bulk of it's done. I'm going to try it and see if it's too spicy. Yeah, it's super good. It depends, Melody. My favorite way to eat this is over cauliflower rice. I also really like it in a lettuce wrap or on top of a salad. That's the way we normally eat it. I've also done it where I've just sliced up a cucumber and done like little discs of cucumber and put it on top of that. That's really, really good. But on top of a salad is my favorite way. What about you guys? How do you like to eat it? Buffalo chicken dip is another one of those really great recipes that everyone likes. I've done it like that too, JMO, with a buffalo chicken fathead pizza. I bet you that's what Dan is gonna want. If he wants it, he's gonna have to make it himself because I will not be here. I didn't add everyone to the Facebook group, but it's open, like you can find it. It's Keto Ginger Kitchen. I believe I link it in the description of most of my YouTube videos. So if you go to one of the more recent YouTube videos and look at the links down below, you should see it. Buffalo chicken pizza is amazing. I'll put like shredded lettuce on top of it that's been tossed in ranch, so it has like that really, really yummy, like cold ranch lettuce on top of it with a little bit of tomato. That's my favorite way to eat it. But I'm not going that far today. Hot sauce for wimps, that's tough. I will say, like, one of our favorite wing sauces that we've got, we actually get from the Dollar Tree. I don't want to say that it's mild, but you could add a little bit of butter to this and make it more mild if you're a chicken. I hear that a lot. I didn't realize that I said it funny until people started telling me that I said it funny. There's a lot of words that I say weird. Dan makes fun of me a whole lot. Like, he says that I say crayon weird. He says that I'm supposed to say it like a crayon or something, and I definitely don't. I say crayon, and he makes fun of me. How do you guys say it? Do you say crayon and like really enunciate it? Or am I a weirdo? I'm probably a weirdo. Cauliflower. Ugh, yeah, nope. I say it like the dog. Cauliflower. This looks delicious. Yeah, I know, I say it how I say it. He teases me all the time. I also say pillow instead of pillow, and I know that one's weird. Lincoln says it like that too, and it's so cute. He has the cutest little voice. A pillow, mama. He says it like crown, and that's weird too. Crown. Oh yeah, it's good. See, if I was making this just for me, I would make it really, really spicy. Okay, see, that's what it is, Kristen. I think that I say it right. Words that you have to over enunciate for people to understand what you're saying annoys me. Oh, peach, that's cute. That is really cute. Hi, Megan. Crayon. Yeah, I think that's how most people say it. I say crayon, like with one syllable. Like if I were to spell it, it would be C-R-A-N. I don't know why. I don't know where I got that from. I've always said it like that though, because Dan is definitely not the first person to tease me about it. Who knows? Medicini, that's cute. Is it? Do I have a Florida accent? Is that a thing? I didn't think Floridians had an accent, but the more that I get to know some of you from around the country, it seems like maybe we do. I say mayonnaise. That's exactly what I have, Megan. That's exactly it. My parents are from Massachusetts originally, so every once in a while, you'll hear something that sounds like Western Mass. A Florida call and interrupt our good time. I'm sure it's someone that's calling to tell me about the warranty on my vehicle expiring. On my 15-year-old vehicle. We good. Thank you. Yeah, I think I didn't realize that Floridians had a little bit of an accent until I started, you know, talking to you guys about it. I had no idea. Where in Texas are you, Leslie? Yeah, I really had no idea that there was like a Florida accent. That's so funny. He's from South Florida too, isn't he, Kristen? Yeah, because I grew up in Broward County, so just north of Miami. And I know that there's a lot of words and phrases and ways that we say things that are very South Florida. Yeah, Leslie, my warranty done expired. It's dead and buried. Dead and buried. I think I say pecan. Yeah, I say pecan. Yeah, I think it's funny because, you know, not just me, but everyone, like, we talk how we talk. So to us, it seems very normal. But I've recently been hearing people be like, oh, you have a Florida accent. And I'm like, wow, I really thought that Florida was the only state that didn't have much of an accent. But turns out I'm wrong. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are said in South Florida that are not said other places. And because there's such a massive Latin population in South Florida, there's a lot of people that do not speak Spanish, but they have, you know, Latin words for things that they use because it's so common. Everyone down there speaks Spanish. It's so funny. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I'm still self-conscious about that garbage can. I can't help myself. He says pecan. You know what? I actually think I probably go back and forth on that one. I don't think that I say it the same way every time. Chick-fil-A salad sounds really good. We call that Lauren's salad in my house because it's Lauren's favorite. It was my favorite when I was pregnant with Lincoln, and I ate it so much that I was traumatized. Dan's originally born and raised from exactly where we are standing right now. And no, that's not how we met. I've lived all over the country, and I went through a really bad breakup when I was living in Northern California. I was up in like Oakland area, and I was at a point in my life where the person that I was with was getting ready to go work abroad, and I either could have stayed in California or I could have moved anywhere else. And I always loved this area of Florida. I had been through like a violent crime. I was attacked basically and pistol whipped in our business and left for dead. So I had some PTSD kind of, and I knew that I was going to be solo and I needed to move somewhere where I was going to feel really safe. And New Smyrna was always that to me when I was living in Florida. So I basically just put a pin in the map and was like, I want to move to New Smyrna. And I did. Yeah, you guys, it is the craziest story. I don't even know if I want to go there with you guys. It was pretty insane. Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear the story of how that happened? Is that a little too heavy? Yeah, Ocala's interesting. Isn't that funny, Darcy? I did that on purpose. He used to be on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to make an incredibly long story short. But when I was living in Oakland, I had a cannabis business. I basically had like it was like a private club for medical cannabis is the easiest way for me to explain this. And we basically dealt with growers that were growing for specific patients and specific ailments. So MS, cancer, HIV, AIDS, that was who we supplied and dealt with. We hadn't been in California very long, and that whole community, like the whole like cannabis, medical cannabis community is a very tight-knit group, and it's a very small, you know, it's a small community considering like over the years it's obviously gotten much, much bigger. But so we opened our little spot, our little club, if you will, and someone that had worked for us that we fed and clothed and took care of basically and made sure he didn't starve to death. In fact, at that point we weren't making crap. we were doing it for the education basically, and just to kind of get involved in the community out there. And it was someone that we cared about, that we thought we could trust, and they basically robbed us. So I was pistol whipped 12 times and left for dead. My head was split open from here to here. I still have a really big scar. And Sancho, my little red dachshund, was let out during that time frame. So my little Sancho was running around the streets of downtown Oakland for a week. No collar, no microchip, no nothing. And I found him. You know how I always tell you guys that I'm like tenacious, and if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna find a way, and all of those things. Well, I did, and I found him, and that was, as traumatic and terrible as everything was, the hardest part was that I thought I also lost my dog. And at the time, this was way before babies, way before all of that, but I was... to say devastated is not encompassing enough. Like, he was my baby, and he was running around in a strange city, and I thought for sure that I was never gonna get him back. And I made 10,000 flyers. I made a Facebook page. I had wrapped my car in a vinyl banner. I went on the radio. I was a psycho. And I found him. City of 500,000 people. Dog had no collar, no microchip, and I got him. Yeah, it was one of the most unbelievable things that's ever happened to me, to be honest. And it was the first time that I've ever been violently attacked in any way, and it changed me tremendously. So when I moved back to Florida after that happened, I had so many issues with anxiety, and even still, if someone comes up behind me too quickly, like in a grocery store, in a gas station or something, I freak out. I just do. And I don't know that it will always be that way, but it is that way. And when I met Dan, I was in such an incredible emotional place. Like, I had been through so much, and I was traumatized. I really was. I was traumatized because at that point, my dream, or what I thought was my dream, had just gotten robbed from me, literally, after putting in all of this hard work and moving across country and all of these things. And now I get the bigger picture. Like, I get what God was trying to do. That wasn't the right path for me, you know? It just wasn't. And I realize that now. But at the time, like when I first moved back to Florida after that happened, you've never met someone that was more distrusting and more scared than I was. And those of you that have been here with me for a while know that I am not a meek person. Like, I am not a meek girl. So for me to go through something like that and get to here has taken me a while. This was almost 7 years ago. But I still have like a rowdy scar on my head, and if someone comes up too fast behind me, they might get swung on. Everyone that knows me really well and has been in my life for a long time knows not to startle me. That's for sure. Yeah, I actually started writing a manuscript about that whole story and that whole experience because I just think that it's kind of fascinating. I think if you don't live in a state, or you've never been to a state where medical cannabis is legalized to some capacity, or recreational cannabis is legalized to some capacity, you have no idea how crazy it is. Like, it is like the Wild West, because yes, there are laws in place, and there are things in place to protect people, but at the end of the day, it is still, you know, a multi-billion-dollar business, and there is a lot of treachery So it's not what they make it seem on TV. It can be very, very dangerous, and there is still a very, very strong criminal element regarding cannabis, medical or otherwise. And I think that people have good intentions, but it's also still risky. It just is. I hope I'm not offending anyone by talking about this. I have a very, very deep connection to medical cannabis. I have a very, very strong belief system that CBD and cannabis and all things related to it can really help certain people, and that it is the right thing for a lot of people. So if you don't believe that, that's okay. We can still be friends. I still love you. I hope you still love me. But I do think that it is a life-changing medicine for many. And I believe in it. I've seen the proof in the pudding. Yeah, Megan, here's the deal, right? I always believed in it, always, you know, was a huge proponent to the health benefits and how it helps people. But that being said, my life was changed out there. Emily, it's safer now. I would love to know more about what he's doing, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like I said, this was almost 7 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. So I wanted to learn the horticulture side of it, and that's why we went out there initially. My original plan was to grow, but the way that the laws are in California are weird. Like, they make it so that you can grow, but you can't necessarily protect yourself and your grow, okay? So let me give you an example. Emily, is he going to Oaksterdam, or is he like going to college and getting just a general horticulture degree? So in California, right? Let's say that you're going by the book. Yeah, Mrs. Duncan, Dan basically would wear me like a backpack if he could, because he knows that I have deep-seated anxiety. Like, deep. I wear a mask a lot, where I'm fine, I'm great, I feel totally safe right now, but on the inside I'm dying. And I know one day, I hope that'll go away, but it might not. That might be something and a scar that I wear for the rest of my life. It just might be. So I'm trying to explain how the laws are sketchy that don't necessarily... Northern Michigan University for a medical applied science degree. Emily, is he going to stay in Michigan? Is that his plan? To stay in Michigan as a grower? Michigan's laws are a little better. So I don't want to derail. I want to explain this in a way that like makes sense to you guys, okay? So let's say that you have your medical license to grow cannabis in California. And you are like sticking to the book. Like, let's say you're a large scale farmer and you're growing hundreds and hundreds of plants, okay? You're like a caregiver. Let's say that that's like what you're doing. The way California's laws are, you are not legally allowed to protect your crops. So here's what that means. That means that you cannot have firearms. That means that you cannot booby trap your plants. So if someone wants to ambush you and try to rob you and try to come all up in it, if you use brute force to protect yourself, meaning if someone is trying to rob everything that you have worked very hard for and you shoot them, all bets are off. You're going to go right to prison. Okay? So the laws are not in place to protect those licenses that people have to be able to grow. So in that sense, it really is still like the freaking Wild West, you know? So, okay, I'm going to give you another example. Let's say Just for cannabis, Leslie. The way that the laws were, and now granted, it's been years since I've lived there, okay? And it's been years since I was doing this, but I want to give you guys like a really correct, Kathy, correct. And basically what you do is you just ride it out, and you have the guns anyway, and you have the protection anyway, and you just pray to God that you don't get in trouble. Because like I get chills even talking about it. It's nice to talk about though. Like I haven't talked about this in a really long time because sometimes it makes me angry. Sometimes it makes me emotional. Okay, so like our club, which was basically like a mini dispensary, we had thousands of dollars in merchandise, medicine. If we would have had a gun or an armed security guard in the building, we would have gone to prison. So there's a lot of loopholes that don't necessarily protect the people in the cannabis industry. I know it won't be like that forever because I'm pretty sure when our kids are adults, cannabis is going to be like going to the store and like buying cigarettes, you know? It's going to be a different world for them. They won't know it the way that we know it, but there is a lot of scary, scary loopholes that make it so that you can't fully protect yourself. You're choosing to do that for a living and you want to be involved, you have to be very careful. I know that everything happened for a reason and the way that it all went down, and I definitely have a deeper appreciation for my safety. Right. Okay, Megan, exactly. That's the point, okay? So let's say I owned a damn pawn shop. Let's say I owned a freaking pawn shop. I'm allowed to bear arms to protect that money and protect my goods, but if I had a cannabis dispensary and I had a pistol in the same place that I had my $1,000 of merchandise, I could go to prison. Isn't that weird? I always thought it was so bizarre. Hi, Michelle. Yeah, I always thought it was the weirdest thing ever. Like, oh, okay, so here's your like license and you're allowed to grow this, but if we catch you in any way, shape, or form trying to protect your investment, you're gonna go to prison. There are people still doing time in prison over one joint in California. Isn't that crazy? Exactly, Leslie. Exactly. So it's very, I don't know, anyone that is like getting involved in cannabis or getting involved, like please do your homework and your research and truly know the laws so that you can protect yourself and your families, because it's definitely an enticing business endeavor. There's a lot of money to be made, but there's also a lot of safety concerns depending on your plan. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It kills me, right? Like if someone were to break into my house and try to steal my toaster and I shot them dead, it would be fine. But if someone broke in to steal money that I made off of legally growing cannabis, I would go to prison. Like, what? It really doesn't make sense. And it's super, super sketchy. I get frustrated about that. Like, I remember one of the most impactful stories that I heard when I moved to California that just, like, shook me to the core is there's all these groups that are trying to rally for legal aid for people that are doing hard time in prison over minuscule amounts of cannabis. Because before all the laws were in place, like, you know, just like anywhere else, like in Texas, if you had a joint, you're like going to prison. Iowa, I think, is like that as well. The rules were so hard and so aggressive and so crazy that there are people, you know, once the laws changed, they were still stuck in prison because the laws changed, and it's not like the legal system was like, oh, hey, this isn't against the law anymore, so let's go in there and like help everybody. You know, these people that are in prison doing time for X, Y, and Z, it's legal now, so let's like get them out. That's not a thing. They have to stay there. So it's just really, it's really kind of a messed up system. So those of you that are going into that field, Kendra, that is correct. That is correct. Here's why. And I'm going to be really honest with you guys right now. When I got attacked and the dog ran away, all I cared about was trying to find my dog. And because we hadn't been in California for a very long time, we didn't technically have residency. So I was terrified that we were going to end up getting in trouble. Like, I thought we were going to get in trouble. Even though we were attacked and we were victimized and all of that, I was terrified that we were going to get in trouble. And I didn't want to get wrapped up at the police station and take time away from looking for the dog. I do realize how crazy this sounds. No. Nope, nothing. Scot-free, y'all. And, like, we had cameras and there's footage of all of it, but, you know, do you guys know anything about, like, Oakland? Oakland is such a poor city. There are many, many, many crimes that you can call 911 and they'll never even show up. They don't have the police force and they don't have the funding to be able to handle it. Yeah, I didn't want to end up in prison, you guys. Like, I was terrified that there was some way that they were going to be able to flip the script and be like, oh, there's no way, you know, you shouldn't be doing this, or you don't have the right permits in place, or you don't have, like, there was really anything that could have happened that could have gotten us. Okay, so Kathy, do you guys remember, like, the Oakland riots, the Occupy Oakland riots? I lived there during that time frame. So it was literally the Wild West, literally. So, yeah, and I mean, that's just the way that it is. So, yeah, I basically sewed up my own head and I kept it moving, literally. So that's a little Amanda story time for you guys. I can say that it's now you know me much, much, much better. Yeah, so when the Occupy Oakland riots happened, I was living in downtown Oakland. And our storefront was right in downtown Oakland, right on Franklin Street. They literally staged the first round of pepper spray, like when SWAT went in, behind our store. It's the craziest, craziest time of my life. Yeah, Darcy, it's pretty heavy, but I also think that sometimes I like you guys to get to know things about me that are not related to keto, because I am a whole other person aside from just what I eat, you know? Yeah, Oakland is a pretty dangerous city. It really is. There were things about it that I loved. I loved walking everywhere. That was amazing. A lot of beautiful art there as well. But to live, I never really felt safe there. Like, even before all of this happened, I just never really felt safe. So yeah, that story time took a turn. My brain is whirling now too, because like when I tell this story, yeah, it's Sancho. Sancho, come here. Come on. Come here. It's this one. He was running around the streets of Oakland for a week with no collar, no microchip, just like eating out of dumpsters and living his best life. But I found him. I found him right before Christmas. And he was my Christmas present that year. And as soon as I found him, I packed my happy ass up and I drove back to Florida. That was all I needed to know that I was like not in the right place. And when I found him and I was given that treasure, I just left. Oh my God, it's so gorgeous up there, Cherish. That is like some of the most beautiful place I have ever been. We had a friend that lived in Auburn. He was a grower and he lived in Auburn, and getting to spend time up in Northern California in the mountains, it is literally the prettiest place that I have ever been. Like, it changed my life. It was just stunningly beautiful. Yeah, so when you guys see Sancho, like, he's got a heck of a story, this dog. Like, I'm going to tell the story and I'm going to try not to cry. Okay, so we had gotten a ton of, like, prank calls about people, because I told you, 10,000 flyers. Like, I was not kidding. I was going to find my dog. They were everywhere. They were everywhere. So because people are heartless and terrible, we got a lot of like prank calls of people being like, oh, we've got your dog. And like, just, I mean, like awful, awful, terrible human stuff. So it was probably about 6 days into this. And to tell you guys that I was depressed, I can't put it into words. I was like afraid. I couldn't even go, like, I was outside running the streets looking for this dog, but like constantly looking over my shoulder, literally like shivering because I was so freaked out. I was injured. Like, I had a legitimate freaking head injury. Weirdest week of my life, hands down. And I've had a weird life. So I'm like looking for him, right? And a few days in, I don't want to say that I was hopeless, but I was like starting to give up hope because, again, it's a city of 500,000 people and it is just, there's cars everywhere. Like, it is insane. And if you've never been to Oakland, like, seriously, to think of this tiny little dog running around scared in Oakland is just, that's its own animal. So the first day that we started like putting out all of these flyers and all of this happening, like one of my stops was obviously to the Humane Society. So I had brought them a flyer and I had a picture of him on it and all of that. Long story short, after all these crank calls and people being disgusting humans and like, okay, like the flyers that were on my car, people defaced, like it was disgusting. So it was like day 6, maybe even day 7. And we get a phone call from this guy. His name was Anthony. I will never forget it. And he was like, my ex picks up the phone. And I can tell. So I'm assuming like it's another crank call. And he's like, I have your dog. So I'm crying because, you know, we'd already heard that like 40 times. Crying. And this guy's like, no, like, I have your dog. I have been seeing your flyers all over town. I prayed that I would find him, and I did. So now I'm like, this guy's nuts. Like, he's crazy. But, you know, a shred of hope because, you know, please, God, let me find my dog. So he was like, it was late. It was like 10 p.m. or something when this guy called. So that was weird too. He was like, okay, so I'm going to meet you guys at the Humane Society and I'm going to bring your dog. Okay, great. So naturally, like we went and we, you know, we're going to meet this guy, even though it's probably not our dog and it's probably someone else's dog, but how can we not take a chance? You know, he was like describing the flyers and all of that like it was, you know, it was a thing. So we're on our way to go to the Humane Society, and it's probably like a 15-minute drive from where we were. I'm just like shell-shocked. Like, I'm basically like sitting hunched over in the car. I'm like crying. I'm like freaked out. It was so many emotions. The way that the parking lot was set up for this place, you should be crying, Tony. You have no idea. This was the craziest thing ever. Sancho, when he was younger, because, you know, we're going back a few years now. When he was younger, he would do this thing where he was on a leash. he would go as far as he could on the leash and he would stand up. And he's a dachshund, so he looks like a meerkat when he's standing there. So he's like standing up. And we call it the burrito because he basically looks like you took a burrito and just like stuck it to the table. He's like standing up like this. So I'm crying. And I'm like telling my ex, I'm like, I know there's no way it's him, but I can't help but have hope. And I wish I didn't have hope because I don't want to be disappointed and all of these things. So we're basically just like talking ourselves out of it. Like there's no way it's the dog. We come pulling into the parking lot and I see this man. He looked, I don't want to say like homeless, but he was downtrodden, this man sitting there. And I could see he had something that looked like a Maltese or like a Lhasa Apso on a leash. And I was like, Anthony. So I'm like, we're going to go talk to this guy. Because like, okay, wait for it. I get out of the car. I see the little Maltese looking thing. And I see this guy. Then I swear to God, right next to the Maltese, Sancho pops up on the leash and is standing there like a freaking meerkat. He was like hiding kind of like under the bench with this guy. And as we came around the corner, I'm pretty sure he like smelled us or sensed us or whatever it is. And I swear to God, he just popped up on the end of the leash. And it was him. It was him. To say that I cried, like, I was hysterical. I was, like, sobbing, blubbering, the dogs all over me. Like, it was the best. I'll never forget how I felt that day. Because, like, I was a broken person, you guys. Like, I was mentally not okay. Like, it was the most fragile and the most vulnerable that I've ever been in all of my life. Like, I collapsed. I did. I collapsed. I, like, fell down in the yard. Now, here's the kicker. Here's where it gets weirder, okay? So, it was a Monday, okay? It was a Monday that this Anthony guy went to take Sancho to the Humane Society. He was gonna bring him to the shelter and be like, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't keep this dog. Like, I already have a dog. Like, what? Like, I don't know what to do here. So he takes Sancho to the Humane Society. It was like a holiday. It was like a Monday holiday. So it was closed. But our flyer was in the freaking window of the little Humane Society place. So that's how he called us. That's how he called us. He went to bring Sancho to the freaking Humane Society, and one of my 10,000 flyers was hanging in the window. So he called us and was like, so, like, I have your dog. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way that you have the dog. He's like, I'm going to hang on to him. I'm going to have him, like, stay the night. I was trying to bring him to the shelter, but they were closed. I can't, like, keep him, but I'm going to keep him another night, and I will meet you there tomorrow. And sure as shit, it was my dog. Is that not just the craziest thing you've ever heard in your life? I know. I say it all the time. Like, this dog was meant to be in my life. And at that point, I'd already had him a really long time. I'd already had him like 10 years. So to say that I was devastated, I literally had a gaping 7-inch head wound and I didn't care. All I cared about was finding my dog. Yeah, it was one of the craziest things that ever happened. And to this day, I really still can't believe that it happened. And like, had I had to leave California without him and like leaving him there and not knowing what would have happened and all of the emotions that could have come with that, I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't have been able to function. What a creep. People are so weird. Yeah, so that's the part of the story that always really gets me, is that like he tried to bring him to the shelter and it was like, I don't know, it was a holiday, or they were closed as heck. It really was the craziest thing that's ever happened. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that guy was just foot fetishing all up in the comments there. What a cretin. People are so weird. It makes me wish that I had like a pair of troll feet, so when people say that, I could show them like the grossest feet ever. Yeah, he's special. I mean, Sancho's gotta be about 15, give or take, 16, somewhere in that general arena. So he is definitely a senior, but he is the little love of my life. I freaking love that dog. We've been through a lot together. We really have. I know, isn't that sick? People are so weird. Yeah. So I really, really believe that things are meant to happen and transpire just the way that they are. You know, I never in a million years could have imagined that someone would not only be so caring, but that my little dog would have made it on the streets. Because this is the thing, right? So it was like 7 days later, 8 days later that we got him back. Anthony had only had him for 24 hours. So that means that my little ferocious, spoiled-ass dachshund was running the streets of downtown Oakland for days. And survived. Shit, thrived, because he was fine. We got him back and he smelled like garbage, but other than that, he was perfectly fine. He was a little traumatized. Like, he was scared, and, you know, we obviously like took him to the vet and all that sort of thing, and the only thing that was wrong with him was dehydration and shock. So for the next year, I would say, Sancho's tail never went back up. Like, he used to have like a very happy springy tail, and he does now as well. But for about a year after that happened, his tail stayed down. I thought it was going to be like that forever, but it did eventually like come back to life. Isn't that crazy? So crazy. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed a little story time for one of the wildest things that's ever happened to me. Because it really was pretty crazy. I know, he is a tough little thing. Straight out of Oakland is right. He is something else. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was a while ago, so I've definitely coped since then. I definitely have anxiety issues from time to time, and I don't talk about it much just because it is such a touchy subject for some people, but it was, it's a huge part of what's made me who I am. You know? Tiny hands. I should. Yeah, I was devastated. I was devastated. Like, no joke, I'm running around downtown Oakland in the middle of the night, blood dripping down my face, down my hoodie. I look like I am straight out of an episode of Criminal Minds, because I kind of was, and all I cared about was trying to find my dog. I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. It changed me deeply. Deeply. So that's why, like, when my dog's bad and you see Dan, like, getting mad at him and stuff, I just kind of am like, you know, YOLO. He gets away with everything because, you know, he's my baby. It was crazy. Definitely, definitely. Oh, it changed me forever. It has rocked my trust. It has rocked, you know, my feelings of safety. He's been a burrito before, Connie. I've totally done him like that before. I made him a burrito. Tallahassee was salsa. I'll see if I can find the pictures. It's really, really funny. Well, I hate to go, but I need to. I have to start getting my camera bag and all of that stuff ready so I can scoot out of here. I love you guys so much. Those of you that are here and have been here and listen to my stories, whether they are keto or not, I love you. Because a lot of times when I do videos like this and I don't talk about keto, I will straight up get messages that people were like, oh, I really liked that story, but like, if you could talk more about keto. Like, we're friends here. I'm not always going to talk about cheese. Like, seriously, I'm just not. So I love you guys so much, and I hope that you have an incredible weekend. I hope that you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about me and some of the things that I have been through. And who knows, maybe one day I'll write a novel about it, because I'd read it. If someone else wrote that, I would freaking read it, wouldn't you? Oh my God, speaking of precious littles, y'all pray for Lincoln. He's been having a really rough time at school drop-off the last few days. He's having some mommy attachment issues where he doesn't want me to leave and he doesn't want to be away from me. So the last few days have been really, really challenging. So if you could just send prayers to Lincoln for a little bit of strength, that would be very much appreciated. There's nothing worse than seeing our baby sad, is there? It's rough. He loves his mommy. He's such a mama's boy. Levi loves everybody, but Lincoln and I have a very, very special bond. I am not pregnant. No more babies here. Baby factory is closed. So closed. Thanks, guys. I love you all. I hope you have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. I will definitely be on here tomorrow. Dan and I want to make a dessert. I'm pretty sure that we're going to do, you know the cheesecake that I make? I want to do like mini cheesecakes. So I think we're going to do that this weekend. I love you guys. Have the best rest of your Friday and really amazing weekend. And I will see you as soon